I'm going to transform my face using one product that's going to be great for using on your cheeks, your eyes, for contouring and highlighting. So let me show you what the product is. It's by Japonesque and it's called their Velvet Touch Face Palette. And you can get this online or at other stores. Right now, Amazon is out of it. It retails for about $40. This is what it looks like when you open up the palette. As you can see, it has 3 matte blushes, a highlighter, and a contour. So let's get started. The first thing I recommend to get your face ready is obviously to prime it with your moisturizer or whatever you would use on a daily basis. But when I use a foundation, I try to use one that is in a pump, number one, but also is a little thicker. I forego using concealer as much as possible. I find the concealer just adds this extra layer on my skin. It never matches up exactly to my foundation. And I really feel that if I use a good foundation, this will cover up most of the flaws in my skin. So let me show you. This is what it looks like. And it's actually considered natural. And they do recommend, as you get older, go with a color that's not looking very chalky or white on your skin. It's going to have a little bit of a beige or a golden undertone. Not extensive, but just enough. I also go with a shade that might be just a touch lighter than most of the coloring in my skin. I find that it really helps to cover up the blemishes and any dark spots I have. This is as I start working in the color of the foundation. Like I said, it's a little bit lighter than my skin tone, but it does have a golden undertone, and it actually covers up a lot of the dark spots, under eye circles, as you can see. And if you do, you can just dab a little bit more on it. I find that if you buy a little heavier foundation where it doesn't look like a mask, so this is Revlon Candid, you will find that that will work just as sufficiently as adding an extra layer of foundation. As you can see, I'm just going to add a little extra on some of these dark spots I have on my skin as well as under my eyes. I really find that this, again, is very sufficient, and you can use this on your eyelids. It makes a nice base for your eyeshadows. I try to make sure I don't get it on my eyebrows, and I just lightly cover it over like this, and I find it really does a great job of creating that foundation from which I want to build up my makeup with. If you do feel you need to add a little extra highlighting or concealer, because this particular one in the Japonesque does have mica in it, so it will be more reflective. I do not tend to use items that have a reflective nature in them, such as in my blushes, my eyeshadows, I use matte. So this little pencil is made by Essence, and you can just use it under here if you like. And I recommend using it in the waterline of your eye right here. It'll also make your eyes pop out a lot more, and you can just use this. Even though it's white, it blends in very naturally with your skin, as you can see. And it's very creamy. It glides right on the water circle of your eye very easily. So you can use that to add a touch of highlight to this area, and I'll show you what you can use this in addition to at the very end. Unfortunately, whenever you're going to put something of a powder over a liquid, such as blush over a foundation, you need to mat it up. Otherwise, that blush will just stick right wherever you put it. So what I am using is, this is by Essence. This looks white, but it goes on clear. It has no shimmer. So if you want, you can forego this, but I recommend using a face powder prior to putting on any kind of a powder blush. This face powder is, like I said, it's clear, and you don't need to use a lot of it. And I just use my big brush, and you can see how it looks? But when you put it on, it's totally clear. It does not put this white mask or chalky look on your skin. So it's perfect for what we need to do to get the blush and contour if you want to use it, and your eyeshadow on perfectly. Here's where the fun starts. So because you have 3 colors of blush, they don't give them names, they just give them numbers 1, 2, and 3. I can take these and mix them any way I want. And I really like the fact that I can actually customize the blush. So a lot of times I will just take a little bit of this, a little bit of this, see how it starts to look on my skin. I'll put a little bit of this, like I said, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I'll go like this. And I just layer it upon layer it. I don't use a heavy hand, because if you do, you're going to end up with this big, unusual looking streak of blush. And if you want, you can even add a little bit of brown onto it if it's starting to look too bright for your skin tone. I sometimes will. I have a little bit of an olive undertone in my skin, so that works as well. So as you can see, it goes on very easily and it looks very natural. Being able to mix these through is really, mixing these 3 together is really a game changer, and it will make your face look so much more natural as to what it should be, as to just using a single color blush, or even those gradient blushes, which have a lot of like golds and whites in them, and they're usually more iridescent. So this is perfect. I'm not a big contour person, but if you want to, I can show you. You can add a little bit of this contour. And I just take my blush brush and I'll use, do you see how it's angled? I will use this end, the high end, just to take a little swig and just to put a little under there. And believe me, less is definitely more. You do not want to put a lot of this on your face. You will look like you have a big brown streak across underneath. And I do it after I put the blush on, because I like to see where I want it really positioned in relationship to my blush. And like I said, I a lot of times forgo using this, but if you like to use contouring, you can. This is a highlighter. Again, like I said, this has a little bit of a shimmer to it, so I tend to forego using this one. I use my eye pencil from Essence that I can use on the waterline of my eye. I can highlight here, and the last part I'll show you at the very end is what I highlight with that pencil. Now, when I do my eyes here, you can see that it's easiest for me to create a base. I create a little bit of a base maybe with this middle blush, and I will put that on my eyes like so. Sometimes if you like that very natural look, do you see how natural it looks? And it actually is making your eyes look really, really pretty. It's so much more natural than putting these unnatural colors on your face. Again, if your skin has a little bit of a rosy or a peach undertone, you can just take a little bit of that and put that on as well. And I've done that in the past. I just take a little bit, just dab it, and I just put a little bit on my eyes like that. And I'm telling you, I look so much more natural and so much better than when I use these shimmery pinks or any of these peaches that they claim look like skin tones. Browns are great, except they tend to make my eye too dark and sunken in. Brown is basically good for a highlighter, but this brown, well, it's like a peachy brown, which is a blush, works the best on me because it's just dark enough for the top. It doesn't look like I'm wearing eyeshadow, but it creates all that depth and illusion that you want to get from using a, a light, a medium, a dark. but you get this all with this one palette, so it's perfect. I'm going to add some mascara, of course, to my eyes. And it doesn't have to be a lot, as much as you want to do or as little as you like to do. I forgo my bottom lashes too. I prefer just to use it on my top, and that works just perfectly. So my eyes are, in my opinion, complete except for my eyebrows. What I do with my eyebrows is I take, again, my eyeliner pencil, and I just use that on my eyebrows here, and I create some very small little feathery type lines on my eyebrow, and that will fill them in nicely and make them look thicker. I filled in my eyebrows just so you can see, and I basically, again, just use something I already have. It does multiple purposes. It's a black eyeliner that I use for lining my eyes if I choose to in the evening, and I use it to fill in my eyebrows because it's such a micro tipped eyeliner. It allows me to put those little tiny hair-like features back into my eyebrows and fill them out the way I like them. But the last thing you can do is you can take your eye pencil and you can just swipe a little bit right under here. Again, it'll just put a little bit of a highlight, but because it's a matte pencil, you're not getting any of that glistening, shimmering look under your eyebrows. You can just wipe it in a little bit so it blends better. And if you think it's too much, just add a little bit more of your, powder blush combo on your eyebrow, on your lids here, and it'll just work perfectly. For the last bit of just finishing touch is I can just use my daily lip gloss that's in a very, very light shade of red or berry colored. Because I don't want my lips to start detracting from my natural look that I'm trying to attain. I'm not trying to look really made up. I'm trying to look as natural as possible. This is a great daytime look. This really, really goes well with an evening look too, because it doesn't detract from what you're wearing. It really brightens your hair, brightens your face. And again, it's simple. And all these products I bought had multiple uses. So that was what was great about it. To give you an overall recap, I'm going to just tell you that you do need to get a foundation that's not liquid, that has a little bit more of a denseness to it, because you can use this not only as a foundation, but a great concealer under your eyes and over dark spots. And this way you will have the same color. You're just building on it instead of trying to match a concealer to your foundation. Also, you will need to have some kind of a matte powder because you will need to set that foundation so that it can your face can accept the powder blushes that you're going to use later on. And so if you use Japonesque, this is the Velvet Face Palette. It's perfect. It has 3 shades of blushes, a highlighter, and a contour. I like that you can mix and match these. You can blend them together. You can use the contour if you like. I tend to stay away from the shimmering highlighter. It's better for younger people. I do not like it. I'm over 60. But I also use these on my eyelids to create a color palette for my eye, and it works beautifully. The last thing you would need is to have the eyeliner pencil from Essence, and this works multiple uses as well. You can use it on the waterline of your eye. You can use it to create extra highlighting, or to use in the corner of your eyes if you'd like, and it can also hide additional darkness if you do need it, and you can use it under your brow to highlight as well. Then, of course, you're going to use your basic mascara, whatever lipstick or lip gloss you like to use, but you need to also fill in your brows. And if you do, this is by Essence. It's a micro eyeliner in black that you can use on your eyes to line your eyes, but I use it to basically fill in my brows. But the main component of this video is this 5 palette Velvet Face by Japonesque, because this one has double, triple duty for you, and you'll be amazed at how fabulous your face will look using these blushes, the contour on your face and on your eyes. So if you like this video, give it a like, a share, a thumbs up, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.